life is. We spend a lifetime to fill in this blank space. We try to fill anything and everything that we think will complete this sentence, that will give it a meaning, and that will provide the definition of life. That word can be money, fame, work, career, business, numbers, or calculations. For some, it's family, fun, leisure, joy, happiness, celebration. And for some, it's pain, sorrows, tears, unfair, a mess, and a punishment. It is strange that our education systems don't even teach how to figure out this equation. And the religious institutions create a different illusion that makes life look more mystical than realistic. We got entangled in the superficial concepts of heavens and hells, virtues and sins, goods and bads. And we humans are lost in search of the meaning and the purpose of this consciousness, the purpose behind our knowing that we exist. There is so much thought and attention being awarded to this concept of self-improvement and improving the quality of life overall these days. The internet and social media are flooded with information about anything and everything, you name it. It is about history, science, technology, space, universe, spirituality, religion, philosophy, life improvement, and every kind of entertainment for every kind of need. And it is impossible to process and catch up with this flood of information. It is almost impossible just to figure out what is even relevant or beneficial to us. And most of us end up wasting a lot of time while being lost in these rabbit holes created by some cunning minds who know how the dopamine-dependent circuits work in our brain and how people like us can be duped into watching this unnecessary stuff. A life that was meant to be lived is spent on the quest of finding the best way to live it. That's what we are all doing. Every day trying new methods, new measures, and new ideologies in search of the ultimate pleasure out of our life. But the majority of us fail to find that one path and that one purpose, leaving us with a meaningless life. Self-improvement is a myth that is being sold all over social media by anyone and everyone these days. Myth in a sense that we often fail to realize the true logic behind this concept. Improvement on a physical level is a lot more possible than improvement at a psychological level. The problem is that we are the subject and we are the ones who are making the change. We are the judge and we are the victim. Whatever we are planning to achieve is so superficial most of the time that its validity is overlooked by us. Improvement is a process that is very slow and gradual. But we are result-oriented beings and more focused on the end product than the measures needed that will lead us there. And when we don't see any significant change happening, we start to lose interest and start thinking about changing our approach or abandoning the idea altogether. The only three things we need to do to make any change happen are repetition, consistency, and dedication. It is a scientifically proven fact that if any act is repeated over and over for a period of time, it is inscribed permanently into the brain's programming and becomes a habit. Neurogenesis, in simple words, brain's capability to learn new things, was considered a myth for the longest time, until in the past couple decades, with advanced technologies, it was found that our brain is such a beautiful piece of equipment that can be reprogrammed at any age to do any kind of task. But the only way to write that particular program is to keep repeating the instructions by physically doing them. Our brain is designed for our survival and for our comfort. That is the only reason we find it hard and boring to do the tasks that are not in our comfort zone. When forced to do any particular task, our brain starts to grow new neurons for that. And that task becomes autonomous, and less energy is needed every time we do it again in future. Learning a violin is a challenge in the beginning, but when the brain develops the needed neurons, it is an easy skill that can be done without even thinking about it. The brain is capable enough to set its comfort zone, but we never explore the potential it has. It is just a huge energy-consuming organ whose only function is to keep us safe and alive. When triggered by an unwelcoming thought or task, it runs into overload and wants to get us off that track in order to conserve energy. And that keeps on happening throughout our lives. How many times we started to do the workouts every day, started a new hobby, started to learn an instrument, started to read, or started any new habit that was uncomfortable in the beginning. How long did it take us to give up? Well, it depends on how dedicated we were, how consistent we were, and for how long we did it for. The change that we are looking for depends on the fact that how badly we want it and how far can we go for it. There is only one question we need to ask ourselves when in desperate situation. Are we ready to die for the life we want to live? And when we do, everything, including our brain, starts working in our favor. So if we all think our lives shouldn't be the way they are, let's change it. Don't sign up for any program, any course, or spend any money on any tool that you think will change your life. We already have the required tool, our brain. And most of the knowledge we need is available for free all around us. No one in the world can change us but us. If you're willing to go any distance for the change you want to see in your life, nothing can stop you. Find a way to hold yourself accountable and track your path in a visible manner. Our brain loves to see the positives and rewards us with the dopamine candy. Use it for your own benefit instead of wasting it on the bizarre kinds of entertainment available all over the media. Be repetitive, consistent, and deadly dedicated towards your goal, but just a little less focused on the goal, but more on the process. It will keep you on track and save you from disappointments. Enjoy the process. That's all what there is. There is no shortcut to successful life, and success is a very individual phenomenon. That means different for everyone. We have to find ours based on the philosophies we follow. Find yours, whatever you think makes sense to you. Start with the smallest goal and build your life towards the goal you think is the ultimate one. Don't get fooled that the statement is complete when you add your goal to it. Life can be money, career, promotions, cars, bank balances, vacations, and on and on and on. There is no limit to what you can complete this sentence with. But there is going to be a moment when you realize that it is not mandatory to fill in the blank. And we realize that the truth is that we are because life is. And it does not need a definition attached to it. The phenomena called life is complete within itself, and there is nothing before or after it. So let's appreciate it as long as we have it and try to experience it the way it is. Because there is no turning back. There are no retakes. The definitions we believe in keep losing their meanings from time to time. And we are unable to see the ultimate truth that life can be anything we can imagine it to be. But one thing that it cannot be, life is not death. And only thing this life actually is, life is a process, just a process. A process that has only one outcome, death. And that's it. There is no other meaning to it. And our only purpose here is to learn, live, enjoy, and make it worth being a part of a process whose outcome cannot be changed. Don't worry too much if you cannot figure out the right word to complete the equation of life. Just write the word process there until you figure it out. And let's hope we don't fail to figure out in time that this is not how this sentence should be. However, we are trying to fill in the blank or whatever we are doing to make it worth living for. And for the whole deal, the time given is limited. We can waste a lifetime struggling to improve the way we live, or we can just improve and live a life we always wanted, without forgetting that all that is given by life is one chance.